For I reckon that the sufferings of this present time are not worthy to be compared with the glory which shall be revealed in us.
Amen.
This wonderful promise that we've been given in the person of Christ Jesus. Remember, he said, this is the promise that he hath given us, even everlasting life. This glory that's going to be revealed in us means nothing if someone can't see it. Now, I hope you understand what I'm saying. It's still glory, but it's not going to benefit me. If this reckoning doesn't occur in me, then this glory is going to do me no good. On that day, if I stand before him and I haven't reckoned myself to be dead sin and alive to God, what benefit will it be to me? See, this is very real. This is why understanding is essential in the kingdom of heaven. Why do we come to this table? We don't come to this table blind. We come to this table because we've perceived the significance of this table. He said, take, eat, this is my body. We do it with understanding. See, this is not just something that we just do. We've reckoned that this is profitable.
Amen.
Now, this reckoning, you come to a conclusion. I've looked over all the facts in the case, and I've reckoned. This is what happened. This is not something that's done out of ignorance. This is something that's done because you've seen it for what it truly is, and you have personally made a choice, made a decision. You've reckoned. Well, no one's going to bypass sufferings. This is just the way it is. Some people have all different reasons to suffer. But see, the child of God has been given a unique set of sufferings, if I can say it that way. He's been given to suffer things that men of the world never partake of the sufferings of the saints. They can't. They can't suffer in this capacity that he's talking about here. You have an enemy living right inside of you every moment of every day. You carry him with you everywhere you go. There's a certain suffering of having a new man living in a container with an old man that can only be experienced by someone who actually has it. Now, this suffering like I said, it can't be avoided. It's going to happen. Now, the glory in it is that if you can see the glory that he has waiting up there, and we've already talked some about this, but if you can see that and understand the promise of God and have believed it, now you've got some ammunition. Now you have the capacity now to win a trial or win some specific suffering. You can say, I'm going to reckon that the glory that's going to be revealed in me is not worthy to be compared with what I'm going through right now. What does that do in a person? It gives you the ability to not attempt to sidestep it. So I'm going through this suffering. God's going to bring me through it. Why? How do I know that? Because I can see the end. Even while I'm going through the suffering, I can see, even if I die here, I know that there's glory awaiting me. Amen. It's up there. I'm tasting of the powers of the world to come. So see, obviously the sufferings are significant. Now, in Paul's case, he told us of just some of the things he suffered. And he said they're not worthy. Not worthy to be compared. Now, there's everyone at all times makes these kind of comparisons. I don't like red shoes. I like green shoes. But see, this is a comparison. It's an intelligent comparison. It reveals what your desire is. This reveals what your desire is. See, you're comparing one thing with another thing, and then the bottom line of that is that's motivated you. Whatever one you've seen of more value, you choose. Unless you're some kind of deficient person that doesn't have understanding. But a thinking man will look at the circumstance and choose what's best. What's best for him personally. In the saint's case, usually it's what's best for the brethren. But see, you choose, you make a choice. Paul's saying that I've considered this whole thing, this walking, this living in the body, this suffering, and I've determined that it's better to suffer here and to reign there.
That's right.
Rather than reign here and suffer there. Because see, it's got to happen one way or another. I've reckoned that the suffering of this present time, they're not worthy to be compared with the glory. I dare say that most of the nominal church has no idea what he's talking about. This glory that's going to be revealed. See, we're going to be glorified together with Christ. Amen. We fellowshiped with him the whole way there. These little moments, these times of fellowship, closeness with the Lord. Now, when we get there, am I going to have to pass through the judgment alone? No, I won't. We're going to be glorified together. Now, I don't have to fear standing before the judgment seat alone. He's going to be there with me. He says, if you won't be ashamed of him, then he won't be ashamed of you. Isn't that what it says? Yes. You don't have to be glorified apart. No, you'll be glorified together. Now at the judgment, when something's brought up, his sacrifice for that's going to be up. See, you see how that's going to, right at the same time. Yeah, this has been covered. We're going to be glorified together. Oh, I tell you, this has relieved me of a lot of. I used to have a lot of dread about the judgment, but see, there's glory waiting. There's glory waiting. As my life is revealed, his sacrifice is going to be revealed. As I'm made known, everything about me, everything that in connection with me to him is going to be made known. Well, now I don't have to fear death. I don't have to fear coming before. I don't have to fear anything because I know that we're going to be glorified together with him. Now this choice, it's not without a price. This is not free. There's not anyone that can have this kind of anticipation and it just be free. No, it's going to cost you something. Jesus said, unless you deny yourself and take up your cross and follow after me, you can't be my disciple. But what if you do? This is what Paul's holding out something to the ones that have. They've denied everything else. They've taken up their cross and they're following after him, and it's hard. Anyway, it says he's not doing it. That's just the way it is. And so, how hard is it? It's so hard that if you don't see the glory that's going to be revealed in you, you won't do it. But if you can see the glory, then you'll say, this is not worthy. This is not worthy to be compared, that I'm going to be with him forever. He's going to give you a crown of righteousness. See, the first thing we're going to do in heaven is going to cast our crowns at his feet. We're going to say, we can see, Lord, that it was you in us the whole time. It was you that was working in us both to will and to do of your good pleasure. Every moment, every time I came into your presence and you fed me, it was you that brought me here. Amen. With bands of love, you drew me to this marvelous place. And now I'm not going to take credit for it. I'm going to give it back to you. This first act of the glorified, these ones that are glorified together with Christ, is going to be to lift him up. This is the one. And that's what we come here today to do, to lift him up. Think about him another time. Maybe this is the last time. I long for it to be the last time. When you can, here in the flesh, soon we're going to be gathered, and this is going to be like a memory. Well, remember, we passed through great tribulations, but that isn't the part we'll remember the most. It'll be that glory that not only had we waited for, we're participating in it. You're being readied for glory. And this is another opportunity. This is unique fellowship. This is not just common. This is unique. Jesus wanted it the same night he was betrayed. He instituted this for a unique reason, that we would never forget what it cost for us to be glorified together with him. There was a price that he paid, and Now he's extended himself, and he's allowed us. Remember, they went back, they were rejoicing because they had been counted worthy to suffer for Christ. This is someone who's seeing it right. And we rejoice in Christ Jesus today and remember his death till he come. Let's pray.